Hey guys, today's video is about nail care. Everyone, I'm sure, has their own routine on how they like to take care of their nails. This is just my personal routine, and so I hope some of this is helpful for you. As far as taking off my nail polish goes, I prefer to do it by peeling. I used to use acetone for every single removal, and it dried out my skin so bad that my cuticles would crack. I didn't even have cuticles; like they were non-existent because they just dried up. It was bad, so I stopped using acetone, and I went to peeling my nail polish. You have to be careful though to not peel flakes off your natural nail. It can be easy to do. Usually I am lucky enough to get all my nail polish off in one big piece, but sometimes I'll still have pieces of my base coat still stuck on my nail. And so what I do is I use my nail polish remover, which is a strengthening nail polish remover. It's just a Walmart brand. You can get kind like this at Target too. But I prefer the kind that says strengthening. It makes my skin and my nails feel so soft. It does not dry out my skin. It does not weaken my nails. It's wonderful. And I highly recommend it. After that, I go in with my tweezers. I seriously use these tweezers every time I touch my nails. And this is going to sound horrible, but what I do is I take the tweezers and I will kind of scrape along the edges of my nail because sometimes polish or base coat and stuff kind of gets stuck under there. And so I just scrape along. Now don't get too crazy because if you get to scraping too much, you'll scrape everything off, your nail included. Don't do that. I also use my tweezers if I have any tiny bits of whatever that needs to be pulled off, like maybe a hangnail or something. I love my tweezers. So afterwards, I use the Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Removing Gel. I don't do this every time I do my nails. I do this maybe once a month or so. What? What? If you use it too often, it's not really good for you. Be sure to wash your hands within a few minutes of using this stuff. But I do like it. It makes my skin soft, and it does get rid of the really annoying, dry, scraggly pieces of skin or whatever. But like I said, like a once a month deal. On all the manicures in between, I just use a file. This is a coarse grade file. You can get them at Sally's, Walmart, whatever. You can see that this side is really coarse, and this side is a lot finer, like a regular nail file almost. And so what I do is when I get harder skin or drier skin on the edges of my nails, I'll go in with the coarse side and I'll just file like this very lightly, and then I go over it with the finer side. Don't get all too crazy because you'll file all your skin off and it'll look silly. But this is wonderful if you have that little piece of hardened skin around your nails that nobody likes. Afterwards, I sometimes use an orange stick. I use these mainly for my pedicures as opposed to my nails, but these do come in handy, especially when the skin underneath the nails gets really dry or your nails just get really dirty under there. When you have long nails, they are a little bit harder to keep clean. And so these are wonderful because they get in and they file all those little hard to reach places. And I take it and I just dig under the nail like so. You could use it around your cuticle area too, but I find it a little bit too rough to use on my cuticles. But like I said, it's whatever your preference is. And then if I still have some scragglies that the instant cuticle removing gel didn't cure or the file didn't cure, I love my cuticle scissors. I can't remember the last time I used clippers on my nails or cuticles. I hate nail clippers. Instead, I use cuticle scissors because of the fine point. So you can get in there and get something that needs to be clipped without clipping off too much. It's very precise and I love it. And then as far as my nail file is, I have a glass nail file. I refuse to use anything other than a glass nail file. It's wonderful. I love it. Then I go in and with my nail buffer, I use my nail buffer maybe 2 to 3 times a month. I don't want to buff too much because my nails used to be really, really thin, and I finally got them to where they're healthy and they're thicker. And so I don't want to buff them so much so that they get really thin again. I don't even use all 4 sides of this buffer. I use just the first side and the second side. This is just one of those cheap buffers that you can get at Walmart or wherever. I actually have 2 of these. My other one is in my Helmer, dying a slow and painful death because I've used it so much. And how I do it is just for a few seconds, I buff in a circular motion for both sides on all of my fingers, and that's good enough for me. My favorite cuticle cream, hand lotion, whatever, is Kaufmann's Hot und Kinder Cream. Germans, don't laugh at me for my horrible German accent. This is seriously some amazing stuff. I got this in a swap from a gal in Germany, and holy crap, I love it. I used to use Sally Hansen's cuticle cream, but it was super waxy and oily. It left a horrible oily residue, and it smelled funny, it tasted funny, and I didn't like it. This stuff is amazing. It's so smooth. It's white. It is not waxy. It is not oily. It seriously feels like a baby's butt. And I'm pretty sure it's for a baby's butt because, well, there's a picture of a baby's butt on there. But it's fabulous, and I will swear my life by it. Find a German friend and do a nail swap with them and get this stuff. I'm not kidding. As far as base coats go, I wear 2 base coats. Every single time I do my nails, I use 2 base coats. I start with OPI's Matte Nail Envy, and I love it. Like I said, my nails used to be really thin and flaky, and this stuff has saved my nails. It's wonderful. I like the matte as opposed to the regular because this dries much quicker. Because I do use 2 base coats and I put this one down first, I need this to dry rather quickly because I'm going to have so many more layers to put on top of it. I always go in with my Essie Grow Faster. I put it on every time I do my nails. I love it. And that's how my nails grow so quickly. It's kind of a thicker base coat, which I absolutely love. I like the look of a thick nail. Some girls don't. They like just, you know, it to look like a regular nail. I prefer for mine to look really thick, and so I love this stuff. I usually wait about 5 to 8 minutes after applying my base coats before I put on any polish, and then I move on to my top coats. Seriously, I've used Out the Door, I have used Séché Vite, I have used every top coat imaginable, and I have not found one that I like nearly as much as Butter London's Hardwear Top Coat. This stuff is a little bit pricey, but it is so worth it, and you can find them for cheaper on eBay and places like that. It's fabulous. It's super glossy like Séché Vite, and it is fast drying. Now, you ladies need to know that there's a difference between a top coat that dries fast and a top coat that dries all of the layers of the nail polish fast. And Séché Vite does that, and so does this. The only problem is Séché shrinks your nail polish until they're like shriveled up like prunes. This stuff does not. So even though it is pricier, it is fast drying and it does not shrink your polish. Yay! Nobody likes shrinkage anyways. I love it. Another top coat that I like is Essence Studio Nails Better Than Gel Nails. It's meant to be like a gel top coat, but you can use it with regular polish. It doesn't have to be used with gel polishes. I got this sent to me from Germany as well, and I really like it. It's super glossy, and it's a really thick coat, And so it really gives you the appearance of a nice, thick, almost a fake nail, and I love it. Except it is not a fast drying top coat, so you have to have some patience because it doesn't dry very quickly. But it looks really good on the nail. That's pretty much it as far as my nail care goes. And like I said, some of this won't help you. Maybe some of it will. I hope it does. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or hit me up on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.